Tonight's podcast is brought to you by PDP Gaming, bringing you the best accessories for gaming, peripherals, controllers, and more for the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Visit pdp.com and check their entire catalog of products, like Mario & Luigi controllers, a Mario Kart case for your Switch, light-up Switch dock covers, and much more. That's pdp.com, and we appreciate their support for the podcast. Stay tuned, guys. Episode 15, straight ahead. Alright guys, welcome! We're live with episode 15 of the NintendoChitChat podcast. I'm Eddy Ray from NintendoChitChat.com. This is our Yokai Watch 4 episode for NintendoChitChat Minute Gaming News. Welcome guys. Hope you're all well, having a good week. It is Thursday, April 12th, 2018. We'll be talking about all the latest Nintendo news for the Switch, 3DS, and Wii U. True story. Stay tuned for that. So good to see you guys in chat. We have Fluffy, Anita, Tyler, Simon, a bunch of others. Make sure you guys hit the like button for us, show your support. You can also support us by doing Streamlabs donations, YouTube sponsorships, plus much more. So share the video, like it, and stay tuned for lots of fun. Don't forget, our podcast is available, audio only, via iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Player FM, all of those big top sites. So make sure you follow us at one of those and give us a good rating too. Alright, we have t-shirts available at tpublic.com, and our ongoing contest, or giveaway I should say, for PDP is the white Link Pixelpal and the 3-in-1 Folio case for your Switch. That's given away later on in April. So go to the description in the video here. We have a link to our Twitter account where you can find our giveaway. It says current giveaways, enter now. Click the link. All you have to do is pretty much retweet the giveaway Twitter tweet. Got it? Tweet the Twitter tweet. So we're actually giving this away on April 27th, on Friday. So about 2 weeks away, guys, for that. And we thanks to PDP for their support. Yeah, visit pdp.com and check out their entire catalog of products, guys. All right, so we have the news. We have Samantha coming up soon. We'll be right back in a moment. Stay tuned. This episode is brought to you by PDP Gaming, bringing you incredible gaming accessories, peripherals, controllers, and much more for the PC, Mac, Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. Visit pdp.com and check out their entire catalog of products like a Mario & Luigi wired controller, Mario Kart cases for your Switch, a laid-up Nintendo Switch dock cover, and tons more. pdp.com. We thank them for their support. Kirby Star Allies is out now on the Nintendo Switch, and thanks to Nintendo, you can watch Eddy make enemies his best friend. When a new evil threatens Planet Popstar, Kirby will need a little bit of help from his enemies. By making friends out of foes, up to 3 other players can drop in and out of the adventure at any time. Team up with other players using local multiplayer to play as Kirby and 3 other characters in Kirby Star Allies, out now on the Nintendo Switch. Alright guys, welcome back. You guys are great. Thanks for joining us here for episode 15. Just cut and pasted here what Fluffy, our mod, put into chat regarding Rocket League. He mentions Rocket League on the Switch cross-platform play has been disabled until the next update is out. And that's probably to maybe bring parties or maybe fix the tournaments with cross-platform play. So thanks for that, Fluffy. Unfortunately, we can't have Ashley then play with us if that's the case tonight, so I appreciate that. So there is an update for Rocket League regarding that news. And Fluffy just read it again. It is now available again. Okay, cool. It's out now. Wow. You guys are awesome. Okay, so cross-platform play is available once again. That was quick. Thanks for that note, guys. We play a lot of Rocket League on the channel, so... But now it's back, and it's good, right? Okay. That's awesome. Alright, guys, wow. Well, we have a lot of news to talk about regarding all kinds of games for the Switch. And, of course, the topic of tonight's podcast is Yokai Watch 4. And as always, we have our writer-editor, our social media extraordinaire. We have Samantha Lienhard back on the line. Samantha, welcome back to the podcast. Are you there, Samantha? Oh, looks like she is not on Discord, so we'll give her a few moments here, guys. Maybe she had to reconnect here. I don't see her on Discord. So how are you guys in chat as we get Samantha on the line here, hopefully? Hopefully she gets back on. So yeah, Rocket League, thanks Fluffy. Apparently there was an update, so cross-platform play is back. Hopefully, eventually we can do tournaments with cross-platform play, having people on the same team. I guess we'll learn more about that as we play the actual game and learn more about the tournaments too. So we have Christina in chat, JKW out there as well. And Discord is not working for Samantha right now. No problem. We can take a short break and see if we can get this fixed for Samantha. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Little technical difficulties here with the Discord, so hopefully we can get it worked out with you guys. So hang on tight, guys. We'll wait a few minutes here, see if we can get her back on the line. We'll have her do a full reboot and connect back with us. So I haven't seen you guys for a while. If we can get a bunch more likes, we'll be doing Rocket League after things end here in the podcast tonight. So let's see at least 20 likes if you can. We got sponsor JKW and Anita in chat. Good to see you guys. So what games have you guys been playing this week? Let me know. I could read some comments here. Thank you, Ashley. Show your support. We appreciate that. Christina likes. Doom, yes. Need to schedule some more Doom. Likes for Yokai Watch, Christina says. Can't go wrong with Yokai Watch news, especially in relation to the Switch. Alright, checking out things here. Simon's been on YouTube and Discord. Christina has Kirby Star Allies now. That's awesome. Amethyst has been playing Fire Emblem Heroes, Cuphead, and a little bit of Rocket League. So we will all be pretty much rusty at Rocket League. Tyler's been doing Splatoon 2. He's 3 stages away from the end of the game. Nice, Tyler. We have Samantha back in chat here. Hopefully we can get it on to Discord. Hanging out with you guys live, our podcast. You see I'm totally lost without my writer and my editor. What should I do? No, we'll see if we can get it on the line here. Let's see, what is going on in Discord? Interesting. Yeah, Discord is playing games with me too. So we'll be right back, guys. Interesting stuff.
Okay, I think that fixed the browser, but now that's working. At least the other one still won't load.
All right, guys, welcome back. Some weird Discord issues just happened to come into place since we went to Samantha, apparently. So we were fine in pre-show chat for a while, and then as soon as she said she had problems, I looked at Discord. I'm like, why are only 8 people logged in online? We had like 15 or 20 earlier, and so Discord's being a little bit of a female dog right now. But I think we fixed it.
I was wondering why the break had taken so long, so I loaded the YouTube video and saw that you were talking to me, and I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, that's really weird. But then like I said, I checked it too, and then I also had a weird error. It said I was in voice chat. It said disconnected in red, but I'm like, I'm online though, so okay. Then I went to reboot, reconnect, and it wouldn't log me back in. So I did a force quit or whatever. But we're good to go, Samantha. I hope so. Let's kick things off then with the top of the news for August. August. Wow, we're in August already, guys. April 8th through the 14th, and we have Yokai Watch news. Samantha, what's the latest here?
All right, so Yokai Watch 4 has been announced for the Switch. And of course, this has caused many people to say, what happened to Yokai Watch 3? Well, Yokai Watch 3 has been out in Japan for a while, and it just hasn't been localized yet, so hopefully we'll get news about that soon. So there aren't a lot of details yet about Yokai Watch 4, but it appears that it's going to be based on the Yokai Watch Shadow Side anime series.
Very cool. So you also mentioned in the article that we have on NintendoChitChat there'll be enhanced content and surprising game mechanics too. So sounds like some new additions to entire gameplay here. Looking forward to this. Are you a big fan of Yokai Watch, Samantha?
So far, I've only played the first game. I keep planning to get around to the second game, but I haven't gotten to it in my backlog yet. But I enjoyed the first one.
Awesome. Yeah, I never finished the first one. I played Psychic Spectres all the way through on the channel here, and I really do enjoy the gameplay. So this is some big news, and it will be a big jump then going from mostly Yokai Watch being on mobile and, of course, 3DS up to HD Switch. So hopefully we'll see more about this maybe in E3 or even later on down the line. So moving along then, guys. I know you guys were hyped for some Yokai Watch talk, so there you go. Hit the like button for us. Moving along, we have Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2. And we have dates and prices. And you want to go through all the details for this, Samantha?
The Mega Man X games, which is confusing because we've got Mega Man Legacy, those collections coming out soon too, but these are for the Mega Man X games, which they're coming out on July 24th in North America and Europe, and then July 26th in Japan. Each will be available digitally for $19.99, but then there's also going to be a combo pack that includes both for $39.99, although unfortunately for the Switch version, that's going to be a cartridge for Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1, and then a digital voucher for Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2.
Yeah, we've gotten used to those download codes, I think, with Resident Evil and a couple other games, I think, too, were the same way, so that's fine. I'm just glad it's coming to the Switch.
And so they announced that it's going to, well, the first one has the first 4 games, and the second then has the second 4 games. There's also going to be a special challenge mode where you'll fight the bosses, but they're fighting in pairs against you. There'll also be graphics options where you can switch between the original graphics, updated graphics, or CRT style graphics. And then there's going to be like a museum mode, a gallery mode, things like that they announced, as well as the Day of Sigma, which was an anime film included in Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. So that is also going to be included, I believe, in each of these collections. So even if you only get one, you'll still have that.
It's a lot of news regarding Mega Man. I'm looking forward to this. When did the other collections due out? I forget. Do you remember what the dates were for that?
They're in May.
Okay, so this then, okay.
Yeah.
This is like a 1-2 punch then, basically, with these collections. So May, and then a couple months later we have July 24th then from North America for Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. And yeah, I think you're right with May. So very cool. You guys are Mega Man fans out there. I grew up with Mega Man, so I'm very hyped for all of this, and all the little extra additions they're adding to the collections are always good. All right, cool. Moving along then from Mega Man over to kind of an old style of gameplay in a sense. We have a live action footage game coming. This has been announced by Nippon Ichi Software, and this is called Closed Adventure. What's the details for this one, Samantha?
So this is a horror adventure game, and the unusual thing about it, like you said, is that it's using live action footage. And so they said that it's going to be a mix of live action videos, text, exploration sections, and challenges where you have to solve puzzles and things like that. And so the main character wakes up in a mysterious room and is told that she has to participate in an experiment, but she doesn't know what the experiment is or what she has to do. And so they released a teaser trailer there as well, so you can see a little bit of what this is going to be like.
Yeah, another little horror game here for the Switch, and being live action, which is pretty cool as well. I was actually looking up some of the older games here. It's kind of, when you hear live action footage, it reminds me of those FMV games back in the 90s, the full motion video games we had.
Making a comeback.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, which is cool. It was an interesting kind of genre back then, and I was looking up here on a few websites too, and kind of talk about this stuff. One of them that was pretty popular, actually played back on Sega CD, was Night Trap. And have you guys heard of that in chat? Let me know. But Night Trap was a full motion video game. This was like, I guess, a criminal game, if I recall, about crime and things. And it starred an actress from Different Strokes from the 80s sitcom. And the gameplay was to test your blind luck, where you switch between 8 cameras in the house, hoping there was something to do or watch. So, pretty interesting game. And that was back in the 90s. Then we also have a few others too. I played this one in the arcades. There was Dragon's Lair, which was more of like animated, but it was still full motion video as well. That was pretty popular. And then we have Mad Dog McCree back in 1990, which is pretty popular too. But looking back, there's been so many of these, but some are pretty much forgotten about, and others were kind of cult hits in a sense. So pretty cool to see more full motion video games come back in this style. So very interesting, guys. So Closed Nightmare, a horror adventure game, uses live action footage, coming in Japan July 16th. Okay, and we have more announcements here regarding Skipmore announced that Kamiko, which came out months back, crossed 200,000 sales, and that was the Zelda-esque kind of like adventure action game, correct, Samantha?
Is very shortly. You play it in little short bursts, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was a very short game. Is that right? Do you recall it being short? Yeah. And so they revealed.
Play it for a few minutes at a time.
Okay, yeah. They revealed that the Faerun collection for the Switch and the PC. And what does this include? Both of the games, correct?
And Faerun 2, I believe they were both out on the 3DS.
Were they really? I didn't know that.
So.
We can look that up too. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, look at that. Faerun for 3DS. Wow, never even heard of this series before. But it looks pretty nice. It looks pretty interesting to me. The art style is pretty cool. Yeah. Awesome. So it's the retro style kind of puzzle RPG. Alright. Then we have some kind of shoot 'em up games. We have, this is a split screen shoot 'em up. This is Rival Mega Gun. And what's the date for this, Samantha?
Out in the fourth quarter of 2018, so we've got a while to wait yet for this one. But what makes this one interesting is that it starts out, it seems as though it starts out just being like a normal shoot 'em up, but as a split screen game with another player. But then once you, I don't know if you have to destroy a certain number of enemies or what it is, but you can transform into a giant mega gunship, and then you invade your opponent's side of the screen to attack them. So
that seems pretty cool, yeah. And so this then includes both online and local multiplayer too, and of course a single player arcade mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that sounds pretty cool. Man, I could see that making people mad when you get into their screen as a mega gunship. So pretty awesome. And that's Rival Mega Gun. Very cool. Then we have some localization news, and this is from XSeed, and their 2018 lineup includes which one, Samantha? Which games?
Several games, but only one of them is for the Switch. That is Senran Kagura Reflections, which we had always questioned the pronunciation of before because in Japan it was called Shinobi Refly.
Yeah, right.
Shinobi Refly. So we weren't sure how to say that, but now they're calling it Reflections for its, or maybe you're supposed to say that Reflections. Okay, so we can still wonder about the pronunciation.
I thought it was reflex ions at first. I'm not sure how they're trying to go with that word, but I guess it's reflections. I don't know.
Reflections. I don't know.
Yeah, these games sometimes.
Yes, that's coming to the eShop. It's being localized. Now, this is the one with the kind of strange DLC model. So it's going to be coming as a very cheap game with one character, and then other characters will be released as DLC.
Cool. And if you guys want to see the player kind of massaging the thigh of one of the characters in the game, check out the trailer. It's a weird trailer. These games are kind of weird. They're all about interesting concepts. Okay. That's embedded on our website, NintendoChitChat.com, in the news article. We do have that trailer there for you guys to see. All right, then we have some more shoot 'em up games too. And this is the Kyogeki Quartet Fighters. It's being localized under the title Quad Fighter K, which is much easier to say.
Yes.
And what is this game like? This is an 8-bit arcade style, right?
Retro style shoot 'em up, and you're fighting aliens. I believe you're trying to destroy the alien base. And they announced that it will have local co-op with up to 3 other players. So you can have up to 4 players playing at the same time. And that is coming out this summer.
Awesome. That looks pretty fun. I'm really up for the shoot 'em up, so that's cool. All right, and moving on to ports. Baobab's Mausoleum is coming to the Switch. Some of these names, like, my gosh. These are some really weird names, but this seems pretty interesting too. And this is an adventure game, right?
Yes. Don't know too much about it. It looks very surreal. It's about a town that only appears every 25 years, and the main character is an FBI agent trying to get out of the town. And then one of the just little details added in the description is that this main character is also a vampire eggplant. So I think that sets the sort of tone for what this is going to be.
Interesting. And we have the screenshot up here too of some of the art and the logo, and yeah, you can see his face. There's like a big eggplant, basically. It kind of looks like a hippie Donald Trump, actually, a little bit. Interesting. So, so he's an FBI agent.
That's what it said.
Interesting. All right, we got to find out more about this game. Maybe contact the devs for an interview or something too. This seems really cool. All right, so
it's on Steam as 2 different episodes.
Oh, is it really?
And the episode titles are even stranger. So I don't know what this game is about, but it does look extremely surreal.
Yeah, that's really odd. I look forward to learning more about this then. Okay, so going back to classic games, we have Mahjong news. And this is the Logic Mahjong Saryu. Yonen Uchi Sennen Uchi has been ported to the eShop in Japan. And there's no story mode, though, for this one, correct?
So this was originally a PlayStation game, I believe. And so now they've ported it to the eShop, but for some reason the story mode is not being ported. And neither are the guest characters that were in the original release. So I guess it is mainly going to be like a multiplayer game then? I'm not entirely sure, but it's partially being ported.
Okay, yeah, that's what it seemed like, though. Mostly just kind of cutting out the story content just for, I guess, multiplayer then, probably. But as we learn more, we'll pass it along to you guys. All right, so we'll take a break here, guys, with Samantha. We'll come back in about a minute with more news for you guys. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit the like button and enter our contest of PDP products, the white Pixelpal link, and the 3-in-1 Folio case. Be right back in a moment. Today's episode is brought to you by NintendoReport.com. Fresh gaming news every 20 minutes. When you visit the homepage, you'll find direct information from Nintendo themselves. We source their YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr accounts. Maybe you want even more details? Click on Nintendo Franchise News. Here, we source the main franchises for Nintendo directly from the Facebook pages for The Legend of Zelda, Mario Kart, Super Mario, and Splatoon. If you want more Nintendo news, click on Other Nintendo News. Here we source the main media outlets that cover Nintendo. Outlets such as Nintendo Everything, Nintendo Life, Game Explain, Nintendo Today, Nintendo Enthusiast, and more. Again, updated every 20 minutes. And don't forget the NCC feed for NintendoChitChat.com. You'll find the latest details here from our website, directly sourced here, all for you. NintendoReport.com, fresh gaming news every 20 minutes. Today's episode is also brought to you by NintendoChitChat.com, for the love of gaming. NintendoChitChat.com is your main community hub and resource for Nintendo fans. Register for free today and gain access to our live chat rooms. Gain access to our forums to post new content and comment on our blog articles too. We have a full blog section for our unique interviews, news articles, and much, much more. We have a full member section, activity feed, achievements, and tons more to explore. NintendoChitChat.com, for the love of gaming. Check it out today and make your free account. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for supporting the podcast and our channel. I'm Eddy Ray for Nintendo Chit Chat, going through the news for Nintendo April 8th through the 14th at NintendoChitChat.com. And we have Samantha back with us. Welcome back, Samantha.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, too, looking back at this live-action game, is the name of the game Closed Adventure? Because the video says Closed Nightmare. I was wondering if that was... if there was like
yeah, that might be a typo.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah, no problem. I just wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure that I knew what it was called, because I saw the discrepancy there. I'm like,
looking at it and think that it was an adventure, and that's what I typed. So
okay,
yes, I'll...
no problem. Okay, so that live action game is called Closed Nightmare, actually, which is a pretty cool title as well, as opposed to Closed Adventure. But speaking about this game, Closed Nightmare, getting back to it, we're going to do a poll in chat for you guys. Have you ever played a full motion video game? Now, most of these games existed in the 90s and early 2000s. They were kind of sneaking their way back into the public recently, with some new announcements and games coming out with kind of live action videos. So let me know in the chat with our poll. It's going to say, ever played a FMV game, so full motion video game. Your options are yes, no, and what, if you don't know what that is. So you guys can vote there. I'll also vote here really quickly too. So I played a bunch of these back in the 90s. They were kind of the hip thing. So hopefully that gets in chat there. There we go, it's in there. Cool, awesome. All right, Samantha, cool. So moving along from Mahjong, we got to talk about Iconoclast. And what is this game like? What's this about?
Yeah, so Iconoclast is a action platformer. I believe it has puzzles and maybe some Metroidvania sort of elements. It's also supposed to be pretty story heavy, so I was actually planning to get this one on the PC because it looked really good, and now I'll find out that it's coming to the Switch, so that's exciting news. Awesome. And it's also coming with a new difficulty setting and also a boss rush mode, so there's going to be some extra content there.
Very cool. So we have the embedded tweet here with a little bit of video as well, so do check out this guy's Iconoclast. Pretty cool name as well. Okay. Then we have some Disgaea news, and this is the remake, right?
Earlier this year, they mentioned, I think it's just something brief about how they were going to remake Disgaea, and so it's called Disgaea Refine, and it is coming out on July 26th.
Awesome, and no word about this coming to North America at all? Samantha?
Hopefully we'll hear something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's not here.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hear you. No problem. Cool. All right, so moving along, guys, we have a boss-focused action RPG, and this is Sinner, Sacrifice for Redemption, but it's been delayed, right, Samantha?
Been announced for the Switch before, so it hasn't been delayed for the Switch.
Oh, wow.
It was just, along with their delayed news, they announced that they were adding the Switch to the list of platforms.
So that's why it was delayed, right? Cool.
I'm sure someone probably says that.
Yeah. Awesome. And what's the price? This is $18.99, right?
It'll be $18.99 across all platforms, they said. And so this is focused on boss battles. The bosses are based on the 7 deadly sins. And the way the difficulty in this game works is that before each boss battle, you will have to sacrifice part of yourself, which will give you a debuff. So I think then the idea is that you can strategize which bosses you want to face first, or which debuffs you want first, or do you want to make things as challenging as possible for yourself to start out with. So it seems like they're trying to go for a sort of dynamic difficulty in a way.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm watching the trailer. The combat looks pretty interesting, so we'll have to keep an eye on this then. Okay, moving along, we have some more news regarding Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, and what all do we know now about the game, Samantha?
There have definitely been questions from people about various things about this, so hopefully this clears up at least some of the questions there have been. First of all, the indie collaborations, those are mainly going to be in the forms of t-shirts. Travis is going to have either 51 or 64 different t-shirts, all from tying into indie games. There will be 7 different game worlds, and they're all, like we knew from some of the trailers, they're all going to have a different style. So there's going to be an arcade game called Electronic Thunder Tiger 2, which I believe is the one that's been being shown in the recent footage. So if you've seen gameplay footage, that's what they've been showing. A pinball game world called Killer Marathon, a simulation puzzle game called Life is Destroyed, an action-adventure game called Coffee and Donuts.
Awesome.
A racing game, called Golden Dragon GP, an RPG called Serious Moonlight, and a 7th world that he wouldn't give details on. He said that one is a secret.
Okay. Wow. It's a lot of news.
Yes. Then he also addressed the adventure mode, and this is something that people were arguing about ever since it was first mentioned. The adventure mode is the old school PC adventure game mode that you saw in the trailer. So adventure mode will be, which is outside of the game worlds. So I believe that you'll be using the adventure mode to get the different games to then enter these game worlds. A lot of news here. We're still going.
Yeah, that's okay. Take your time. This is like kind of a big thing for people. People are really looking forward to this. So I'm glad there's a lot of news for this though too, because there's a lot of questions that we were asking that. So now they're all being answered here apparently. So continue.
Yes. Okay. So he said there won't be voice acting, which seems to have disappointed a lot of people. Maybe they'll change that. But so for now, at least the plan is no voice acting, but it will be roughly the same length as the previous games in the series. And there might be a physical release. Apparently that is up in the air right now. And one other detail that amused me was that they asked him if it is connected to the silver case. And he said yes, and that you'll understand the connection if you play the 25th Ward. So see that review we did of the 25th Ward, that's all tying in here now.
See, I knew I clicked the review code for a reason to receive that from NIS America, so thank you guys. See, I plan ahead, but that's cool. Very cool. That'd be really interesting to find out how this all kind of connects, so.
Yes. And so then they just asked him about a couple of other things. He said that he would love to have No More Heroes 1 and 2 on the Switch, but he would need the permission because they share the IP, so that's possible. Maybe that's something that'll happen. And also he'd love to see Travis in Super Smash Brothers, so
very cool.
He certainly wants that. And then just the last part I included because I found it funny in their interview was that they asked him, will you ever make a normal game? And he said that all his games are normal. He always makes normal games, so I just found that funny.
I like his openness and honesty here with all of these answers to these kind of pegging questions that we've had since we've heard about this, so that's really cool. And this is from Interview Guys. We have the link from Gamatsu up on NintendoChitChat.com. All the details are there, so do check out that. And I want to get back to the poll we just did for the full motion video games. The highest vote total was for what? So apparently we have a pretty young audience here watching, which is pretty cool. As I said, most of those games were back in the 90s, so but do check out some of the older titles in full motion video. There's lots of bad acting there, so. All right, moving along then, we have some Lost Child news. We actually have a new trailer for this too. And this features highlights from what?
shows off the astrals that you'll be able to include. And the astrals are going to be angels, fallen angels, and demons. And I'm not entirely sure what distinction they're drawing between fallen angels and demons. But these sorts of enemies that you'll fight and then also be able to recruit. So the trailer shows off how that system works.
Awesome. Lost Child is looking like it's coming along pretty well. And again, this is all multi-plat too, so we have even Vita in there for this game too. So Vita's still getting some support, but of course the Switch is where I'm going to be getting the game at. All right, moving along, we have some Dragon Quest Builders news again for the second game in the franchise. We've been hearing about this for the past, actually discussing this game for the past few weeks, I believe. So what's the latest for Dragon Quest Builders 2, Samantha?
Updated the website with some information about Malroth. And Malroth, we might have mentioned him briefly last time or the time before when we discussed the title, because the title of the game was revealed as Dragon Quest Builders 2, The God of Destruction Malroth and the Vacant Island. So Malroth is a boy with amnesia who will fight alongside you and also help you collect materials. And it's also the name of the antagonist in Dragon Quest II, so right now he seems like a very suspicious sort of ally.
Very cool. Seemed like a nice little way to go about this game, having a suspicious ally with you for a while. Cool. Looking forward to this, Dragon Quest Builders 2. And this is great news. I actually just read this for the first time now. I actually missed the first part of this. This is for Mercenaries Saga Chronicles, and this is getting a physical release, right, Samantha?
Yes, they announced. Sorry, I was replying to one of the questions in the chat.
Oh, that's okay. No problem.
Yeah, so this came out just recently, the collection of the Mercenary Saga's games, and so now it is coming out as a physical release this summer.
Very nice. Have to keep an eye out on this. This is like a nice little collection to have, especially as a physical version of it. So, all right, moving along to a game we've been talking about and kind of laughing at because of some of the choices in the DLC. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. We have some more news regarding this, and what's the latest here, Samantha?
They released the first English trailer, so if you want to, the first English dubbed trailer, so if you want to hear the English voice acting, you can check that out. They also announced the Collector's Edition. The Collector's Edition will come with the game, a steelbook case, a 15-track soundtrack CD, a 52-page softcover art book, and acrylic art stands showing four of the characters, and they'll all come in a collector's box. Now, I don't believe you can order this yet. It looked like pre-orders aren't going to open up until May.
Okay.
But they also announced that pre-orders for both the Collector's Edition and the Standard Edition will come with a 7-track mini soundtrack. So
that's
keep
cool.
that in mind as well if you're interested.
Awesome. And I had this right. This is the game with all of the weird DLC, right, that we were discussing back in the past?
Yeah, so between this and Senran Kagura Reflections, we've got a couple of DLC models to discuss this week.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious here about this. I'll have to keep my eye on this game, especially with the Collector's Edition. I'm kind of really liking Collector's Editions, so we'll have to keep our eyes on this, and maybe I'll get it when it gets available for pre-order. But let's move along to ARMS, and we actually have a new update for ARMS, and this is version 5.3, and they've been doing a lot of good work here with ARMS. What's the latest update for ARMS, Samantha?
All right, so the big thing that they added with this update is a dashboard that lets you see rankings as well as videos that will give you gameplay tips, and you can also watch clips from tournaments. And then the update also added some new gallery images and made other minor adjustments, so you can check out the full patch notes if you want to see all of the little tweaks and fixes that they made.
Great. So this game is finally complete, in a sense. I think when we first came out, it was kind of lacking some content, but I think they really rounded it out now, and hopefully we'll get an ARMS 2, because I think it did pretty well for Nintendo, so as a new IP. All right, guys, moving along to Gal Gun 2. We got a new DLC costume, right, Samantha?
Well, a custom DLC pack in Japan. Of course, the game isn't out here yet, so I'm sure the DLC will eventually follow. But in Japan now, there's a new costume pack with 3 costumes, and you can either buy them individually or together at a lower price.
Great. And then we'll move along to Nintendo 3DS news again. And this is Etrian Odyssey 10. Just kidding, it's X, which is Cross, kind of like Monster Hunter Cross, right?
And people have pointed out that this is going to be very confusing since Etrian Odyssey has used Roman numerals to number its titles, and
Yeah,
now they're having Etrian Odyssey cross with an X.
that is
So
a
that's
weird
going to
way.
cause a lot of confusion.
For sure, yeah, it's a little bit odd. But this is the final entry of the series on the 3DS. And what else do we know about this game so far?
Yes, so this is a pretty big announcement, especially since support for the 3DS has been winding down a little bit, but here we do have a big name game coming to it. This one is set in a flying city where adventurers will gather to search for treasure at the remote island of the distant sea. And they announced that there's going to be 19 classes, including a new class called Hero, which hasn't been in previous games. And it's going to have a whole bunch of different systems, including the character creation subclasses, force burst and force break, and different difficulty levels. They said that it is going to have a greater amount of volume than any other entry in the series, and there's going to be a world map, which the developer has wanted to do for quite a while now. Since it's on the 3DS, and everyone's wondering how they'll handle this when it moves away from the 3DS, but it will have the traditional map drawing on the lower screen.
Awesome. Very cool. So that's a lot of news then regarding this game. Yeah, and the X is kind of a weird thing, but I guess they're going with it. So, Etrian Odyssey Cross. Very cool. That's for the 3DS guys. Okay, and then we also have some Wii U news, which I mentioned at the top of the show. This is kind of funny. It's still coming out to the Wii U. And this is an arcade-style 2D shooter called Shadow Archery. This has very retro-style looking graphics. And this is now out on the Wii U eShop, and it is free for the first week. So do check it out and get it if you want it. After the first week, it will be 99 cents in the Wii U eShop. So check it out, guys. Wii U news, probably the last Wii U news we'll ever hear.
Yes.
So, all right, Samantha, that wraps up the news article for April 8th through the 14th. And check out the website, guys, NintendoChitChat.com. She adds things to this as we get announcements organically throughout the week. Samantha, we'll be right back with you and you guys in chat for the time portal and some rumors after our break. Stay tuned. This episode is brought to you by PDP Gaming, bringing you incredible gaming accessories, peripherals, controllers, and much more for the PC, Mac, Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. Visit pdp.com and check out their entire catalog of products like a Mario & Luigi wired controller, Mario Kart cases for your Switch, a laid-up Nintendo Switch dock cover, and tons more. pdp.com. We thank them for their support. Kirby Star Allies is out now on the Nintendo Switch. And thanks to Nintendo, you can watch Eddy make enemies his best friend. When a new evil threatens Planet Popstar, Kirby will need a little bit of help from his enemies. By making friends out of foes, up to 3 other players can drop in and out of the adventure at any time. Team up with other players using local multiplayer to play as Kirby and 3 other characters in Kirby Star Allies, out now on the Nintendo Switch. Today's episode... Got some fat fingers here tonight. Welcome back, guys. We have our time portal coming up. This is actually issue number 11 for the time portal. But before we do that, we have Samantha back with us to wrap things up for the podcast. We're going to be talking about some rumors here. We actually have an article on the website for all the latest rumors, theories, leaks that we kind of come across during the weeks and months. And it's kind of like a collective article here. So we have some rumors to talk about regarding Animal Crossing. Now, Samantha, discuss what's been going on with these rumors and what's it all about.
All right, so there aren't really any concrete rumors of what is going on, but basically during the past week, some pages showed up on the Animal Crossing website. Some pages went live that were for news articles and videos, except there weren't any news articles and videos there. There was just lots and lots of placeholder text. So there was a news page with placeholder text, and then you could click on different articles, and they all just had like the first few pages of the Metamorphosis page pasted into it. And there was a video page that had a whole bunch of Breath of the Wild videos being used as placeholders. So this really suggested to people that maybe they're preparing the site to add something new. And so now all these pages, if you try to visit them, they just revert right back to the home page, so you can't see them anymore. But there's some screenshots out there if you want to see what it looked like. And the Animal Crossing 3DS website is completely broken, and that one you can still visit. And there's no content on the site, but there's all just says like header, section 1 headline, game description, put release date here, things like that. So it seems like they've been working on the Animal Crossing website for some reason.
Yeah, and the timing here is very suspicious too regarding E3 coming up in about 2 months. So that kind of leads to wondering about a lot of this work being done probably for something going to be announced for the Switch, which I would put 2 and 2 together, probably betting that's probably the case, but we'll see. As we learn more, guys, we'll be updating this, and of course, if it becomes news, we'll talk about it in our regular news content too. So you guys can go to that link. I'll actually put this in the slider on the website as well, making it very accessible to all of you for NintendoChitChat.com. Okay. Moving along, then, we'll go to Time Portal issue number 11, and this is a very nostalgic time portal. I mean, usually they are, but I mean, this one's especially is. Samantha, where are we going to begin for the Time Portal issue number 11?
To begin on April 8th, 2001, which is when Dr. Mario 64 came out.
Awesome.
A remake of Dr. Mario, and it was also the final Mario game to come out for the Nintendo 64.
Very cool. I never played this version of the game. I'm a big fan of Dr. Mario. I think my wife is more than me. She's actually really good at it. I'm horrible at Dr. Mario. But cool. Yeah, Dr. Mario 64. If you guys played this version of the game, let me know. Pretty cool art style and little graphics here regarding the game. Okay, then April 9th, we have Super Paper Mario released. And what was the date? This is for the Wii, and what date was this, Samantha?
So this was April 9th, 2007. Super Paper Mario, the third entry in the Paper Mario series, the one that really made the first sort of dramatic shift, because instead of being a turn-based RPG, it was an action RPG with sort of action platforming combat. And it was also very story heavy, though, which won a lot of fans over. So this is definitely one of the more controversial ones among Paper Mario fans, because some will say that it is one of the great ones, and other people will say, oh no, this is where everything started going downhill.
Right, because then we had 3DS, the next entry, I think, and that was kind of a big bummer for people too. So interesting to see different reactions regarding this game.
I am in favor of Super Paper Mario. I would take a Super Paper Mario 2 in a heartbeat if they kept the same sort of storytelling, because that was great.
Yeah, I agree. I played this game a lot, and then the 3DS entries kind of didn't feel quite right. So that's all I got to say about that, pretty much. We have more Wii stuff too, actually, in this time portal. April 10th and 11th, Mario Kart Wii was released. And any more details regarding the entry for this one, Samantha?
Yes, so Mario Kart Wii came out in Japan on April 10th, 2008, and then in Europe on April 11th, 2008. And so then it took a couple of weeks for it to come out in other regions. But so this was the 6th Mario Kart game. And of course, this was the one that bundled the game with the Wii wheel, so that you could use the Wii's motion controls to use a steering wheel to play the game. And it is also the best-selling racing video game currently, with over 37 million sales.
Yeah, pretty amazing. That was a great game too, Mario Kart Wii, and it's still being played, it's still being modded by people too. It's pretty amazing. It has a pretty big life after the fact. So there you go, guys. And no, I will not say sticker star on this podcast. Oops, I just said sticker star. All right, guys. Well, once this podcast airs, I'll delete it off the channel. All right, and then we have some really cool things to end up with the time portal, April 12th. And this is a Banjo-Tooie released in Europe. And this was the sequel, right?
Banjo-Tooie, the sequel to Banjo-Kazooie, it came out for the Nintendo 64 on April 12th, 2001. And so it added several new characters. Instead of how the original game had just a hub world where then you visit all of these individual worlds, Banjo-Tooie still had a hub world, but all of the worlds were sort of interconnected as well. And then, of course, it also contributed to the long-running stop and swap mystery, because they had a feature set up that would enable you to transfer data by switching the cartridges for the two games. But because of changes in the hardware, they couldn't do it. And so it was just left there with nothing you could do for it. And people were wondering what it was for years and years.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Nice little tidbit there on the end of that time portal. All right, Samantha, that wraps up our Time Portal issue 11. Check it out, guys, on NintendoChitChat.com. Every week we have a new issue bringing back some memories of history from Nintendo platforms, events, history, consoles, games. You have it all right there for you. Thanks for joining us, guys. Anything you want to plug, Samantha, before we head out?
Oh, not much in particular, although I will mention that I'm finally almost near the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so
awesome.
Maybe soon we'll be talking about other games.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I saw you, went to your profile, I was stalking you, like I do all of my fans, and you had 90-plus hours in the games. That's pretty cool.
I'm way past there now. I just haven't been online.
So there you go. She's probably over like 150.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Samantha, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you then next week. Everyone, wish Samantha a great weekend. And guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out for our podcast, episode 15. I'm Eddy Ray for NintendoChitChat.com. We'll see you guys back here next week. Take care.